It starts, it runs off its own fuel tank. It drives slowly because it has no brakes. And I know it's an old car, but the seating's not exactly comfortable. But, you know, it is. On the button. Hello everybody and welcome back to the workshop. So not only does this thing start on its own accord, it does actually drive. It's seen daylight under its own power. Admittedly only for a few minutes. There's a lot that I need to do on this. let's get it up in the air, let's get some things bolted properly. Let's really get through this. So it's on the button. Obviously, there are temporary measures here. This filler neck I have put in temporarily, so I've just put this in the top to stop anything going down there, so I can't find the cap. There's an air vent. I blocked that off because the pipe underneath is too short. There are some breather pipes that are not connected. This, however, fuel gauge, sender and all the rest of it, pipes there done properly because they're easy enough to undo, and I will put the top tank strap in after I know this is all actually good. I don't want to do too much. I do want it moving. I want to be able to take this out if there is a problem. I have no brakes, that is the problem. So the reason why this has no brakes is because obviously we all know that I have taken over this project after it had been started by somebody else. So as you can see, there's nice shiny wheels and tyres. It sits upright because it's got new suspension. It's got new brake calipers on it, and they haven't been bled. I also need to take it all off again anyway to put on some disc shields and a few other bits and pieces. So while it will now run, and it can drive rather uncomfortably, slowly under its own steam, it doesn't stop, which is never helpful for manoeuvring around a workshop. So not only do I want to put this up in the air to properly now see underneath it with a decent inspection light how rough this is underneath, I also want to be able to get to the mechanical side of it, so this is one step closer. Now, I know that we've been looking at this project from a very different perspective for a very long time. It's very, very good to finally be able to see it, because I think this might be the first time it's been up on a ramp, so it's good to see when people have been underneath it. And of course, I might be doing things up because I was putting these new bolts and bolting this anti-roll bar back up there with the bolts for the bottom of the tank strap I was doing a moment ago. But there are loads of things down here that, apart from being able to see any further rust we couldn't see, which is a good idea, there are lots of things that I'm going to have to go over because, well, so this has been done before, obviously by somebody else, and these aren't done up. So, and that's on both sides. That's no problem, it's not the end of the world in the slightest, but it just means that everything that's already been done on this project, I'm going to have to go over and double check. That's a hefty size hole. Look at how much stuff is in there. That's that's nice. But this rear body mount back here, these always go. You can also see these always go. You can also see why. All of mud and crud all sits on these. This isn't looking too bad on that side. This side, well aware that that has some work to be done. Oh, there you go, we haven't even touched this. Look at how much stuff just sits and rots away, that front body mount, so it's no wonder they always go there. And that's not looking too bad. And I was completely wrong. There's basically no body mount left on the front. And the front of that sill, that is completely gone. There's the footwell. There's the front footwell in 2 places in the inner arch. Now we can start seeing. Now we start seeing the inner wing all up there from this side. There we go. Steering box is completely leaking all of its fluid. That's, yeah, standard. It's a Jaguar Land Rover product. Front diff is leaking ever so slightly. Now, what are we thinking? Yeah, Now, might want to stop doing this. I'm just finding extra work. So basically, this silt is completely gone on this side. This body mount is really, there's not much, it's not really attaching to much, and neither is this. So, we have a few more items, but things that are new, I just need to go over. So there's a few bits on the back, like those bolts I need to do up. There are missing bolts here for this exhaust. So actually, it's not sounding too loud and too rough, considering it's not really got any silencers on it at all. I'm actually quite impressed with that. And we just need to, well, work from the back forwards. So essentially, it's rotten, and mechanically, there are some bits that really do need some attention. However, for a Range Rover Classic, it's actually pretty good. I've seen them a lot worse rot-wise, and a lot worse mechanically-wise, and so we're somewhere in the middle. Obviously, we're not even going to go into the interior yet, because I'm not sure the office chair is going to be a permanent solution to be able to drive it. I'm doing everything in a sort of order. There is an order to this. The back end of this have had new shocks, brakes, discs, and there's some anti-roll bar bushes, etc. I've got to tighten all that stuff up, but I've actually got to take all of this apart again because there's something missing. There are no brake disc shields. So all of apart from the wheels, I've got to take the calipers off, and then discs again, put those on either side, which isn't going to be the biggest end of the world, and obviously do some stuff up, and then hopefully I'm going to have a look at the front end, because what I want to do is I want to get the brakes and everything bled. And actually more than that, I do have to go back and forth because I do need to keep myself interested. I can't be just welding. It gets monotonous and tiring, and then you lose focus for the project. You want to be able to jump through the mechanical, the rest of it. So there is some, I'm going to have to jump, I can't just work from the back all the way to the front. I've got some bits I'm going to have to jump to the front and then come backwards. But let's get those shields on, let's get all the stuff at the back end bolted up. That exhaust, I'd really like to hear that done. And then I need to have a look at that front end quickly to see if I can do the suspension on the front before I worry about everything else. And get the brakes, actual brakes, be really helpful. So, time to get on with it. See you tomorrow.